Hello students, my name is Remini Philip from English department in Advaita Gurukul. Today I'll deal with a lesson from 9 CBSE Beehive lesson 2, the sound of music. Part 1. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. Don't you think the title is a bit different, or it sounds different? Yes. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. What does it mean? How is it possible for a person to listen without hearing it? So let's see what is strange or different or extraordinary about Evelyn. Before you read, there is a quote. Let us read that. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. So this is written by James Blade. This is a wordings of James Blade, who has commented on Evelyn. He says that God has taken away her hearing capacity, but still she is an extraordinary person. Now let us read the following account of a person, that is Evelyn, who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. Now in the next slide, let us see a recent picture of Evelyn Glennie. Before touching the lesson, let us look at some of the new words mentioned in this lesson. Jostle. Jostle means to push roughly. Slight, small and thin. Daunting, frightening. Aspiring musician, a person who wants to be a musician. Next one is impaired, that is weakened. Xylophone, a musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different lengths. Percussionist, a person who plays the drums, the tabla, etc. That means a person who can play more than one musical instrument. Potential, it means quality or ability that can be developed. Auditioned, that means give a short performance so that the director could decide whether she was good enough. Intriguing, what does mean intriguing? It's fascinating and curious. Flawlessly, without a fault or mistake. Lilt, a way of speaking. We say slang. When we use a language in a different way, it's called slang. Next, tingles, causes a slight pricking or stinging sensation. Resonance, echoes of sounds. Workaholic, that is informal, a person who finds it difficult to stop working. That means a person who likes to work all the time. Priority, great importance. Children, now I'm going to read the textual paragraph 1. Rush hour crowds jostle for positions on the underground train platform. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. In this passage, children, you can see the pictures. Evelyn Glennie, she belongs to Scotland and she's a Scottish girl. At the age of 17, less than 17, that is 16 years, she's standing in the underground train platform in London. Where is she going? She's going to the Royal Academy of Music to take her degree. And this is the first time she's coming out. She lives in a Scottish farm in a village. Now she is in the town. So she was a bit nervous to face, and this was the first day of her college. But the bigger challenge is that she was completely deaf. So the question arises how she's going to learn music. So let's see how she overcomes this defect in her life. Now again, coming to the textual part, second passage. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabella Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. Children, in this passage, Isabella Glennie, that is Evelyn's mother, once called her while she was playing the piano, but she never turned up or replied to her or turned back. And this was at the age of 8 that the loss of hearing started, and they start to hide this defect or her growing deafness from friends and families. But it was not impossible. At the age of 11, she was doing very bad at school, and the headmistress came to know about her deafness and advised her parents, that is her mother, to take her to a special school. Evelyn was completely disappointed and she thought that this would be the end of her life. Now children, coming to the third passage. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He began by tuning 2 large drums to different notes. "Don't listen through your ears," he said. "Try to sense it some other way," says Evelyn. "Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drums from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down." Forbes repeated the exercise and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. "I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination and hard work." Children, in the third passage, it means that Evelyn was a very curious child. She really wanted to do something in her life, and she had the strong determination, and she had the love for music, and she thought that she will decide music as her career. So one day when a girl was playing xylophone, she decided to play it too. But most of the teachers told her not to do so. They discouraged her. So one percussionist is a person who can play more than one instrument, who is an expert in playing the instruments. His name is Ron Forbes. He saw Evelyn so curious, and he really wanted to help her out and to bring out her potential, bring out her capabilities and capacity, and to increase or help her in pursuing this career. And he told her, "Don't listen through your ears, but try to sense it with all the parts of your body." And then what he did, he asked her to feel the higher drums from the waist up and the lower drums from the waist down. And she was successful in doing this, and she repeated this exercise again and again, and she soon discovered that she has opened her mind and body to sounds and vibrations. She could feel everything, music flowing in her body, and she also had that strong determination, and she worked very hard to achieve it. Now children, coming to the textual part, fourth passage, she never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdoms with the youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. Children, in this passage, Evelyn Glennie, with the support of Ron Forbes, she got full encouragement, and at the age of 16, she joined the degree 3-year course in music, and 16, 17, by 18 years of age, she successfully completed the music degree, and she also auditioned. Audition means gave her performance for the Royal Academy of Music, and she got one of the highest, she scored highest marks in the history of the Academy. And along with an orchestral group, she moved from one place to another in UK and performed many concerts. Now coming to the 5th passage, for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. If you work hard and know where you're going, you will get there. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. In this passage, students, Evelyn said that she is not a hero, she is not a heroine, or she is not something extraordinary person at all. She never self-praised. She thought that only thing she said that was to work hard, and if you have a will, definitely there is a way. And this is the way she got to the top, and she is one of the most sought after. What do you mean by sought after? Very famous percussionist. And she is not a simple percussionist, she is a multi-percussionist. What do you mean multi? That means she can play, she has the skills of playing many instruments, like around 1,000 instruments. She has the mastery means she has gained that skills to play it. And hectic international schedule. Hectic means very tight. She kept moving from place to place on international basis to give concerts. She was so well known that from all over the world she was invited to come and give her performance on the stage and to showcase her talent and to spread the spirit of music and to show that even a deaf person, a handicapped person, can do something great in life. Now children, coming to the 6th passage, it is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It is not just watching the lips, it is the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. Students, in this passage, it means that Evelyn, very coolly she performed all the instruments or her work. She did not show any sort of strain or, any sort of trouble at all. And in an interview, she even answered the question, every question that was asked to her, though she was deaf, she couldn't hear. And on a humorous note, she said that she had some trouble with men who had very big beards and mustache, because she captured the lip movement, the whole facial expressions to understand what they are speaking. And she can speak Scottish because she is from Scotland, and she also managed to learn French and Japanese. Now coming to the 2nd paragraph, as for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration passes through her bare feet and up her legs. In this passage, children, Evelyn has described how she is feeling the music. This is a normal question she's been asked. How do you feel music? The answer to this question, she says, music is in every part of my body. She says even it is in the skin, in my cheekbones, in my hair. And she says she can feel the sound passing through her fingertips as she beats the sticks. And she says it flows through the body. And sometimes she even removes her shoes and bare feet. Bare feet means without shoes. She stands on the wooden platform and can feel the vibration passing through her feet up her legs. She also leans against the drums and beat the drums, so she feels it passing again throughout her body. This is how she senses music. Passage 8. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audience. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. She says, Master percussionist James Blade. God has taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. These are the quotings of James Blade. So in this passage it is said that Evelyn Glennie received many awards, and she was also quoted by another percussionist, James Blade, saying that she is an extraordinary person and she does sense music very sensitive, very deeply, and she expresses it so beautifully. Coming to the 9th passage, Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians, but the rewards are enormous. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund of Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. In this passage, children, Evelyn confesses. Confesses means admits. She says that, yeah, I am a workaholic. I like to work 24 hours. I don't like to sit idle. And when you do work hard, the rewards, she says, it is very big. And children, she is not only a music lover, but she is also an inspiring idol for the young musicians who are coming up, especially with defects. And she also gave free concerts, for charity purpose. She did give free concerts in prisons and hospitals. Coming to the last passage of the lesson, Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. Children, in this passage, it says that Evelyn at a very young age, she has achieved so many great things in her life which people of her age could not even realize or think about. And she's a great inspiration for the whole world, especially for the handicapped people. She's giving the message that if she can do, why not others? And she's given a lot of happiness to millions of musicians or music lovers. Here we come to the end of this part 1 about Evelyn Glennie. I hope you have understood the lesson very well. But still, I recommend you to just read the lesson once or twice so that you can understand well. Okay, children, thank you very much and have happy learning. Bye. Hello students, my name is Remini Philip from English department in Alberta Gurukul. Today